What's happening, guys? It's Dean from Electronic Sounds. You're going to want to stick around. Today we're going to talk about audio interfaces, iDevices, do you need them, and what's up with that?
Electronic Sounds Audio, the YouTube channel for you.
The first thing we'll need is a powered USB hub. I'm using a 7-port USB hub from Anchor here, and I've got it plugged in off the shot so that we've got power. We're going to go ahead and plug this into an Apple USB to Lightning adapter, and this is going to allow us to get power to our iPad at the same time. We'll go ahead and plug this into the iPad, and we're going to use a USB to Lightning cable to get power. One of the reasons I like this Anchor hub is that the bottom 3 ports are power only, so I can literally power the iPad from the same USB hub. We're going to start by hooking up the Focusrite Scarlett interface to the iPad. And what we'll do is we'll take a USB to, I don't know, whichever USB type this is, the one that comes with your Focusrite. This is a really common one. This is one that I have with my PC for a long time, and it works really well with iPad. It's going to give you 2 inputs and 2 outputs. We're going to plug this directly into the Anchor USB hub. And at this point, you'll just take audio cables out of the back of the Focusrite, left and right, and you'll plug that into your mixer. If you don't have a mixer and maybe you're going into some powered PA speakers, you'll just go directly into your speakers. Or maybe you've got a really nice pair of headphones that you like to use, and this is going to allow you to plug those in and get crystal clean audio as well. Another question I get a lot of the time is, Dean, I have headphones that came with my iDevice, these earbuds or whatnot, and aren't these good enough to make music on? Well, the answer, simply, my friends, is absolutely. If you'd like to make your music on these, go right ahead. But as soon as you want to start incorporating your iPad into a more studio-friendly environment, maybe recording some external synths or adding like a Novation circuit or another small device into your workflow, you're definitely going to want to get yourself an audio interface so that you can get super clean audio into your iPad and also super clean audio out of your iPad. I know people also like to use just the headphone jack of their iPad and, take that into their mixer, and that's fine as well, but that certainly isn't going to get you pro quality audio, and that's not going to get you the ability to record audio into your iPad. And the reason is simply, guys, is that, this is just a consumer grade headphone jack, whereas this is a studio quality pro piece of gear that's meant for audio to be passed through it in a professional capacity. It's got professional, grade analog to digital converters that are really going to do with your signal what you need done with your signal when you start incorporating your iPad into a professional studio environment. Or maybe you're not in a professional studio environment. Maybe you just want really good quality sound to go in and out of your iPad. This is the way to go, friends. I think it also depends a lot, guys, on where you are personally in your own musical journey. If you'd like your music to sound a little more hi-fi, maybe pass the car test a little more often, it might be time to seek out an audio interface and get yourself a little bit more high-quality representation of what your audio actually sounds like. You can also plug any of your MIDI controllers using this type of a setup. Say you have a MIDI keyboard, and you want to plug that in. All you have to do is just use another USB, and that'll connect directly to your iPad. And you can do this with as many ports as you've got. So if you've got 7 MIDI controllers, guys, keep plugging them in and you're good to go. You can link them all up to the iPad. How you're going to get them to talk to the synths in the iPad is going to be a little tiny bit different based on what synths and based on what apps you're using, but this is how you do it. So let's say you want to take it to the next level with audio, but you still want to remain super portable though, right? Well, one option that you can think of is the cord plug key. And this is like the tiniest little interface for iOS to get professional sounding audio out of your iPad or out of your iPhone. The thing with this guy is that it's not allowing you to get audio in to your iPad or your iPhone. It's going to allow you to plug in a 5-pin MIDI, so you can plug in like a standard MIDI keyboard to this, and it's got a headphone jack here with a volume knob, so you can control this. So like say if you want to use your super hi-fi headphones and you want to get, you know, professional quality sound out of your iPad or your iPhone, this is really not that big of a deal. You don't need extra power for this, but you can put some power into this if you want to. Let's say, you know, you just put the adapter into your headphones and now you're good to go. And this is, you know, super clean sound. You could use the stereo outs on the back to go into your, you know, your main mixer. Super clean sound, super high, you know, volume, and you've got adjustment over that as well, so you're not going to be able to, you know, overdrive your mixer. Another cool thing about using these audio interfaces, guys, is that the iPad just recognizes these. You don't need to do any additional setup inside of, you know, your iPad to get your audio apps talking to these devices. It works really easily. I know this stuff can get pretty pricey pretty fast, so here's a less costly solution as well. Let's remove the plug key. This is the Behringer U-Phoria UM2 interface, and it's a pretty simple, pretty inexpensive interface. It's got one mic or line input, or you could do a double 1/4-inch input as well. You still got, you know, your adjustment on volume and your adjustment on the headphones as well. So all you would do in this situation, guys, is you would plug in the Behringer sound card into your powered USB hub, and that's it. You would plug the powered USB hub into your iPad the same way that you had done previously, and then by default your audio is just going to be coming out of the Behringer here. And what you can do is, say in an app like Beatmaker 3, is to record from something like this, is you would just let the app know from the recording source. You would go to hardware input and you would just select it, USB audio 1 and 2. Boom, there you go. There's really a lot of options for ways to get pro quality sound in and out of your iPad, and a lot of this might just depend on what devices you've already got sitting around your studio. Another really good way to accomplish this is with like a, you know, specific device that's really made to complement your iPad. Something like the Novation Audio Hub 2x4. What you can do is, with something like this, you're gonna have really easy time connecting up the rest of your USB MIDI gear, because you've got 3 inputs on the front for USB MIDI gear. You've also got these line inputs on the front where you can plug in like another keyboard, or you can plug in like a Novation circuit or something. And the bonus of this guy is that on the back you've actually got additional outputs. So if you want, like in an app like Beatmaker 3, using a device like this, you could assign some of your tracks to outputs 1 and 2, and some of your tracks to outputs 3 and 4. You could do some interesting routing with your mixer if you've got a mixer that has like effect sends and stuff on it. But this one's a little bit more pricey, than some of the other ones I've shown you. Again, though, I mean, it's really solid. It's built like a tank. It sounds great. I really love these. In fact, I have 2 of them, as many of you know. Real quick before I put it away, a common question about the Novation Audio Hub 2x4 is, how do I use this with a device that has 5-pin MIDI or doesn't have a USB MIDI? And what I've done to make that as a workaround for me is I've got the iRig MIDI 2 from IK Multimedia. You can just plug this into, directly into the front of your audio hub, and this is going to give you 5-pin MIDI in, out, and through. Super quick and easy. And again, there's no additional setup. It's just plug and play with this. Super quick and easy. And it's the same thing if your device did not have USB, and say you were using, the USB powered hub route again, and this doesn't have a 5-pin MIDI, you would just plug this into your USB hub, and now you've got 5-pin MIDI in, out, and through. Super quick, super easy. There definitely are a lot of things to consider when choosing an audio interface. Price for one, how many inputs you might need depending on how much gear you want to plug into it is another. Maybe you might want 5-pin MIDI input to be there. Maybe you might need USB input to be there. These are all factors that are going to help you decide which interface is right for you. Recently though, guys, I realized that I could plug my Tascam 1608 into the iPad. Now this is the big sound card that I've been using with my desktop system, but honestly I haven't really gotten into using all of these multiple inputs really to their full advantage. There's 8 inputs on the front and an additional 8 inputs on the back, and I've got gain control over these inputs. So if I take the USB out from this and I plug it into the powered USB hub, I'm able to get all of these inputs working with the iPads. So let's see here if I can get this in a shot. Sorry guys. So yeah, so coming up in some future videos, I'm going to show you guys how I'm plugging in my hardware to this big mixer here and how I'm feeding all of the hardware into the iPad. I'm using OM to route and mix and sequence everything in one complete package on an iPad Air 2, guys. Stay tuned, and we are going to get even deeper into the audio. Aw, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this has maybe inspired you to keep pursuing the high quality sound on iPad. Till next time.